Hello, lovelies. How would you like to be comfortable, chic, and also warm this winter? Sweater dresses are oftentimes the answer, and in today's video, I'm sharing 7 different sweater dress outfit formulas that you can wear on repeat. I've got looks for your most casual occasions all the way to your dressiest and everything in between. And this is a piece of clothing that I don't remember wearing more than I have this season. If you're looking for inspiration and kind of a change of pace from your usual sweater and jeans outfit, you're in the right place. But these 7 outfit formulas are not going to work if you're doing a couple of things wrong. So don't forget to stay to the end of the video where I'll share the do's and don'ts of wearing sweater dresses so that you nail that flawless Pinterest look. I'm Zipa and I'm so excited you're here. If you haven't hit the subscribe and notification button already, make sure that you do because you don't want to miss a video where I help you get dressed in the morning so that you feel beautiful and confident in your own skin, because if you feel confident, you can do anything. I'll start with one of the easiest and also probably my most worn outfit formula this season. It consists of an A-line sweater dress, a faux fur coat, and suede boots. The rib material adds a lot of texture to the outfit, which adds interest. So it's easy to keep everything else very basic when the material itself already looks very elegant and intentional versus just having this same dress, but just more of a smooth texture. For this particular dress, I've loved wearing it with a longer coat. Right now I'm in a huge faux fur moment, but a wool coat looks just as beautiful. The outfit will always look more put together if the coat is as long or slightly longer than the sweater dress, especially if it's kind of very close together. If you're going to choose a coat that is not as long as a sweater dress or longer, then you want to go for something a little bit more cropped so it doesn't cut off your lines. In this outfit formula, I'm using suede low heel boots that are just really easy to wear day to day. They also look really elegant and timeless and helps complete the look. The second outfit is very similar to number 1, but this starts to incorporate a belt. And a belt is a fantastic tool to use with your sweater dresses, especially when they tend to be a little bit more shapeless or oversized. This dress is neither. I just happen to wear this dress belted a lot, and I happen to wear it in a way that I don't usually, which is very matchy. So I chose to match the leather of the belt, the shoes, and the bag together, and then just added a different color of coat to have the 3-color rule really shine. And this is a great styling hack for when you kind of don't know what to wear in the morning and you're trying to figure out the color combinations. If you can pick 3 complementing colors, it's a really easy way to elevate your outfit and to have it look cohesive. There's not a lot of hard and fast rules, and just to give you a quick idea of what I'm talking about, some really great combinations are camel, navy, and ivory, forest green, burgundy, navy, black, white, camel, burgundy, sky blue, navy, mint, pink, ivory. So you can have a lot of fun with this. And for this outfit, chose this dress in the sky blue because this color is really trending for 2026. And it was one of those colors that I could really live with being a neutral summer, as you can probably tell. And this look, choosing a belt that just helped put the look together, matching it with the boots and the bag, and then adding that finishing touch in the coat. Another tip is when you're choosing a belt, you want to play around with, do you want it to sit on your waist so that it's really nice and snug? There's a belt by Amazon that is kind of like a buckle that works really well. It's Hermes inspired and it's a bestseller. I have a couple of colors. They're amazing. This one can sit right on your waist and there's no weird flapping going on. It's a great way to define where your waist is. Or on the other hand, in this belt here, this one is sitting more around my hip bones versus right at my waist, which helps elongate my torso, which is really helpful, especially when you have a shorter torso and longer legs. Just helps you look more proportionate. And you want to go the opposite route if you have a longer torso and shorter legs. For number 3, we're shortening the hemlines. Let's talk about the mini sweater dress. You can have so much fun with this. Sweater dresses in general tend to be pretty sexy because they're clingy and they're just not showing anything, but they're showing a lot. With a mini dress, you kind of want to make some decisions in terms of the length and how tight it is. A lot of times what works the best when you have a mini dress is having it be looser than you would a maxi dress. A brand on Amazon that's called Arabesque has some really nicer quality sweater dresses in case you want to kind of dabble in sweater dresses. I have a couple by them, including this white one that I wore to a New York Fashion Week a few years ago. That again, you can see here how I'm playing off of the 3-color rule. So I have the white mini dress by Amazon, I have the red boots and the black bag. So just kind of color blocking a little bit, making the outfit look cohesive with 3 colors. There's just something about it. But again, this dress is not super tight around my body. Now, kind of one caveat is Cezanne has a beautiful black mini dress that is just iconic. They always make it. The only thing with this one is that it's extremely warm because I want to say it's wool, but I wanted to show you this one because this is a really great example about how it's a little shorter, it's a little bit more form-fitting, it's even belted, but it still works just because it's cut so well and the material is a little thicker. You get into a world of her when the material is really thin, it's short and tight. That's when a lot of trouble starts to happen. So you want to be very meticulous about making choices. Do you want it to be short and loose? Maybe the fabric is a little bit thinner. Do you want it to be short and a little more form-fitting, but the material has to really be high quality? Or do you just want to go long and tighter? For this hemline, one of my favorite ways to wear it is with either knee-high boots or over-the-knee boots, because it's a great way just to make your legs look super long, like super duper long. And you can pair it with your favorite fun thermal tights. I have a video on how to style your tights, lots of do's and don'ts and what deniers to choose depending on the occasion as well as the temperature. So head there after this. I think these mini dresses look phenomenal with either kind of a drama coat in any material of your choosing, whether it's wool or faux fur. Likewise, it looks very flirty and date night if you wear longer blazer or a coat that's the same length as your mini dress. There's just something about it that looks very modern. And it's also a great way to kind of like camouflage, especially if you're a little bit more self-conscious about wearing a mini dress because you're wearing that longer blazer. You kind of feel like you have Dumbo's feather in terms of confidence. So for looks 4 and 5, I'm using the same dress, and on one hand, I'm going super glam, and on the other hand, a little bit more casual. So one of the things that I love about this dress is that much like the dresses in 1 and 2, this one has a lot of texture that does a lot of heavy lifting for me. Everything else can stay very simple because the dress is already really interesting. This is also a dress that is more textured up here, and then down here, the texture changes to be a little bit more straightforward. So even that in and of itself is helpful to have kind of the mixed textures all in one dress. So now if we were to keep it very simple, we could just leave this dress as is, grab flat knee-high boots, and be extra mobile with a cropped puffer. This is approachable, it's easy, and once again, super comfortable and ridiculously chic, especially compared to most of our other winter outfits, right? Let me know if you've been living in leggings for the last 2 weeks. We'll cover this a little bit more in the do's and don'ts, but you just want to be careful that the hemline of the dress isn't competing with the collar of your boot. So you don't want to be in a place where like the dress keeps tucking into the top of the boot collar, because then it's just going to become a whole thing where you're not able just to walk down the street because you're trying to get your dress out of your boots, if that makes sense. Alternatively, you can take this to the Oscars. Okay, maybe not the Oscars, but you can take this like to a very glamorous situation if you, drum roll, of course, add a belt. But the belt is not just to waste your look, which I'm always a fan of, but also to secure your, drum roll again, faux fur. Now, if you do not want to do a belt and you have a very different type of dress where you don't want to draw attention to your waist, there's some days where the last thing I want to do is put a belt around my stomach. And likewise, sometimes if you're in apple shape or you just had a baby, you don't want to bother with a belt. Instead of doing a belt, you can always grab this faux fur and use it around your neck as a scarf. Again, to play off of the texture, and you have just an equally stunning look. In this outfit, I'm wearing it with the faux fur fake vest of sorts, and then I'm tucking that into my little animal print belt. Again, the suede boots that I can't stop wearing, and then making it extra just with a little faux fur hat. This is a very glamorous look. One of these pieces can go if it feels like too much, but if you do feel like being extra, then this is your outfit. Now, if you want to be a little bit less extra, let's head to number 6, which is wearing a looser sweater dress that just feels good. Almost like, remember the year of the nap dress? Was that 2020 or 2021? It was when we were all home. The year of the nap dress. So kind of doing a sweater dress it's very nap friendly and a little bit more relaxed, and that even though it has that looser silhouette, you wouldn't dream of belting just because you want it to flow with you. And I think that there's something to be said for like not belting everything. I try to find a happy medium for myself as well, because I tend to always gravitate towards like adding that extra accessory. It's also a great way to switch up your aesthetic by just forgetting the belt and then choosing a scarf. So in that last example, as an alternative, I gave kind of the faux fur scarf around your neck. For this one, we were just doing a regular scarf, whatever scarf makes you happy. And some shoes that are mobile, because this is kind of more of like a, I'm running errands type of look. I'm doing things. It's not so much like I'm, faux fur princess. This is very down to earth. So you either want to do loafers or your favorite sneakers and some cashmere socks or tights and call it a day. Number 7 is our sexiest one yet. You want to pick a dress that is intentionally more form-fitting and showing hints of skin. Suzanne is also a favorite to go for these because I feel like the Parisian brands just nail like that noir kind of vibe. And I don't know if they still have this dress, but they had a dress that was backless and also a knit sweater dress. It was very plain, but the back was just super dramatic. Now you don't have to go that route, but there's also a lot of different sweater dresses, and they have one as well that has a big leg moment with a slit. So this is a great way to just show a little bit more skin. And again, you're all covered, right? This Harper dress is such a bestseller. They usually have it in like ivory, black, and navy as well. I have it in black. I feel like I have a lot of their dresses in black. But with this dress, we're kind of choosing like, what are you going to show the leg? Are you going to show your back? Amazon and Revolve have some beautiful sweater dresses that have kind of like a wrapped top that kind of really show off your chest. So if you want to do that, then there's choices like, what do you want to show? And pairing it with heels, of course. What else are we going to wear? And those are some of my favorite heels to wear, as well as Cozy Island. They just are super comfortable if you like to wear heels and you don't want to hobble around, because the most unattractive thing that we can do is to look uncomfortable because everyone's just worried about you. Is she going to make it across the street? We don't know. As promised, here are the do's and don'ts of sweater dresses. Do pay attention to your underwear, please. You probably hear a lot that underwear is one of the most important things about getting dressed, because if your underwear isn't nailed, then it kind of ruins a lot of lines sometimes. And no, it is never truer than when you're wearing a sweater dress, because it is unforgiving, okay? Do not mess this up. You want seamless. Skims are some of my favorite underwear for that, just to like have it sit really close to your body. And especially if you don't like thongs, like I'm not a thong person and I still want to wear underwear, but I don't want everybody to know that I'm wearing underwear. So this is a great option, as are, if you don't want to wear like full tights, you can also wear like little underwear shorts that kind of go halfway down your thigh. And the key is that they don't like squeeze your leg and create sausaging. They're really smooth. I have some from Soma, and I also have some from Jockey that are amazing. So you can pick whichever ones work for your price point. You can always do the tights, which for many of us living up north, I'm in upstate New York, let me know where you're from, you're going to want to pick the tights, if not the thermal tights. So my favorite thermal tights are by Calcedonia. They're kind of like the fake sheer, where they're double packed. They're just really smoothing. They don't have the weird diaper crotch that sags and that just, creates a dents in your inner thighs. It's just, I don't know what people were thinking when they designed that, but it does not have that. So you want these tights, and the right underwear is going to help smooth everything out. And you can also choose, do you want like a tummy control tight to kind of help even more and kind of snatch your waist? These are all options. They make a huge difference. Even if you're a slimmer person like me, I can wear a sweater dress, and if I'm not wearing any shapewear, it doesn't look good. Like my body isn't falling in the right places anymore. I need something to kind of like help Humpty Dumpty get back together again, if you know what I mean. So don't be shy about getting these pieces. They are your best friends. Number 2, as I mentioned before, you want to pay attention to where is your shoe in relation to your dress, especially with boots, because if you're going to wear ankle boots, most of the time that's going to cut your line in half. And all we're going to see is your ankle all the way to like the top of your knee and kind of like that short part of your calf. It's just going to make your legs look short for most of us. It's going to cut your lines. Same thing with wearing over the knee boots on dresses that are too long, because then they're going to peek through the material. So the boot is going to actually be trying to get through the dress, and that's another problem. You want to really hit that sweet spot. If you are going to have any type of gap, it's got to be pretty small, like as shown here, or you want to have the longer dress with a boot tucked all the way underneath. So, and again, if you have a hemline and a collar or boot that are really close together, you're gonna have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, is this gonna work out there in the wild when I'm walking, or is it going to be completely stuck in my boot half the time? Don't forget about static is a big problem in winter because everything is so dry. If at all possible, steam the dress, especially if like an easy way to do is just to bring it with you when you shower. Just hang it up close to you so that it's getting the steam of the shower. Or you can always run it through a wire hanger. That's one of my favorite things to do. You can actually hear the electricity leaving the dress. It's amazing. And then moisturize. The reason that the static happens is because everything is so dry. So you want to have as much moisture as possible, including, that's why like steaming is important because it introduces moisture into the fabric. If you introduce moisture onto your legs and then put the tights on over, then you have less of a chance of creating like a huge static storm. If you're going to do short, then don't do tight, with very few exceptions. It's like a really easy rule of thumb. Don't forget to do some basic maintenance on your older dresses, like running the lint roller or shaving the cashmere, something that's going to just like help elevate the look, because sometimes you have these really great outfit formulas, everything looks amazing, and then you've got a lot of pilling, and that's just something easy that you can solve even if it did happen. And most importantly, don't forget to have fun with these sweater dresses. If you want more cautionary tips on how not to ruin your style this year, head to this video on the style mistakes that are aging you. I'll see you there. And if you learned something today, make sure to hit the subscribe button.